What's up, everybody? I know we got a little bit of time left. Just getting set up. Can y'all make sure y'all remind me to put the sound back going through the radio or through the, through the studio? Because right now I got the sound coming out of the camera. Bradley, please make sure you remind me to go back to the radio sound and not the camera sound. Make sure I throw my lemons out in the yard as compost. Throw them out in the field. Maybe a lemon tree will grow. Don't that sound so hippie? Y'all got to give me the questions I need to get ready for the show. Y'all got questions, suggestions? Let me know. Yeah, Bradley. Because what happens is when we go to the callers and you can't hear the callers, a lot of times I don't realize we're on the camera sound and not the USB sound. So that's what screws that up. On the docket, we got on the docket. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Got to talk about Carly, Noah Locke, Rocket Watts, Sierra, and Russell. Jeez. Jared West. Anybody know when West is supposed to announce? Andrew, I hope he announces during the show today so I can have something to talk about. We are definitely going to talk about the game last night. That goes without saying. Oh, is he going to announce at noon? That's crappy. That's crappy. I needed that announcement way sooner than that. Oh, excuse me. So noon, I can handle that. Is that confirmed? Roy, should I write that down? Because if I say noon, are you saying noon like Diener says everything breaks at 10 o'clock? Because if you say noon and I run with that, I'm gonna look bad. So we just got to make sure that information is correct. Thanks. That's what you read. Okay, fair enough. Because I will blame you and tell everybody to blow up your Twitter. That was funny. Listen, did y'all go? Have y'all already? If y'all weren't in the room last night, did y'all go watch that Kyle Tucker video? How funny was that? Listen, did y'all watch that Carleek video? Hold on. I'll show it to y'all real quick. I think he sent it to me. Let me see. Okay. Hold on. Here it is. Hold on. I want y'all to check this out real quick. This is just a little show warm up. Yeah, for y'all that didn't actually see it, I'll try to turn it down on my end so it won't echo y'all head off. But y'all want to check and notice who he took with him to the court. Roy, I'll let you break the news to everybody. Who else was out there hanging out with Carly? We'll do a quick share, Chrome share. Check this out. I want y'all to watch this dude. So every time y'all feel bad, notice who was getting the ball out the net. Listen, that boy works at his own speed, don't he? This is light work. Mr. Steve, listen, those moves he can get off against anybody, anytime, anywhere, any day of the week. That looked like a game time shot right there. Come on, Jalen. Y'all see you look. Man down, man down. Yeah, I'm gonna just need him to just go ahead and get in the lab, get in hellified shape. Oh, come on, Jalen. Explode out of your stance, Jalen Withers. I need Jalen to explode out of that. Even pick up his hands off me. Oh, big boy bump. He is nasty. Oh, your boy is nasty. He is, Bradley. He is an absolute stud. That is funny. So Carleek is running around putting Jalen Withers in his back pocket. Come on with me, young pup. Let's go get some game in. Carleek's from the old school. You bring your big man with you. You get him some work. That's old school right there. I'm going out of town, bringing my big man with me. Phil Baker got the witch going. Gotta pay my phone bill. March 31st, huh? Wasn't Sam in there also? I don't know. Listen, did I? Maybe I missed him. Hold on. I'll go back and check real quick. I don't mind watching that one more time. Hold on. Hold on. We'll see. Because I'm gonna be disappointed if I didn't. I'm gonna be disappointed if I didn't see him or he didn't stand out. I didn't share audio this time. Don't worry about that, y'all. Y'all might be. Well, no, you won't hear it on camera. Did you think the white tank? Look, did you think the white tank top? That don't look like Sam. My man said I'm still wearing the mask up in here. Yeah, they know he's different. I don't see Sam. Okay, I got to go back to prep work now, y'all. I didn't think that was Sam, but fair enough. Okay, I'm switching it back over now to the sound.
Adding to your home gym. Right now, Fitness Market is loaded up on strength equipment, dumbbells, kettlebells, squat racks, power racks. Fitness Market has tripled the amount of inventory they normally have, and you can see it all in their newly expanded showroom on the corner of Plantside Drive and Waterston Trail. They have all the great brands like Hoist, Spirit, Body Solid, you name it. The highest quality equipment is at Fitness Market. I love the Precore treadmill I've had for a couple of years from there, and the adjustable dumbbells have proven to be invaluable over the last few months. So head on over to Fitness Market now. They have 2 locations, Westport Road inside the Snyder and Plantside Drive and Waterston Trail, where they have their newly expanded showroom. Or check them out online at thefitnessmarket.com.
Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by UPS Jobs. Starting rate for package handler positions is $14.50 an hour. Apply today at upsjobs.com. The number 2 seeded Louisville women's basketball team season came to a close last night as they lost 78-63 to number 1 seed Stanford. The Cards had a 12-point lead at halftime, but Stanford got hot in the second half and never looked back. Dana Evans led the way for the Cards in her final game with 24 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists on 6 of 8 shooting from three-point range. She will now move on to the WNBA draft. Coach Walls talked after the game about the season.
It's a tough way to go out. There's no question about it because, our goal was to get to a Final Four. And unfortunately for us, we just fell one ball game short. Actually, one half short. But again, you've got to tip your hat to Stanford.
The Cards finished the year 26-4. The Louisville baseball team also had a tough night as they fell to 16-7 on the year with a 13-12 loss to Cincinnati at Cincinnati last night. Outfielder Trey Leonard led the way for the Cards with 4 hits on 6 at-bats, including 3 RBIs. The Cards will be back in action on Friday when they start their 3-game series with Wake Forest at 6 o'clock. And our coverage will begin right here on 93.9 The Ville around 5:50. Just a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home for live play-by-play coverage of the NCAA tournament. As yesterday on our sister station ESPN 680, Gonzaga defeated USC 85-66, and UCLA upset Michigan 51-49. The Final Four is now set with Gonzaga, UCLA, Houston, and Baylor. On the women's side, the Final Four is set as well, as it is UConn, Arizona, Stanford, and South Carolina. And last but certainly not least, just a reminder, as baseball season approaches, ESPN Louisville is your home for the Cincinnati Reds all season long. And our first game will be this Sunday when the Cards take on the Cardinals at 12:40. You can catch that on ESPN 680. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maybin is next. This is SportsCenter.
Injured in a car accident? Visit SueDistractedDriver.com.
68 teams started the tournament. Only the best have survived. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new customers in the center of the action. Bet $1 on any tournament game, and if your team wins, you win $100. It's that simple. Turning $1 into $100 is 100-1 odds. Pick any college basketball team that's still in the hunt for your shot at winning $100. All it takes is a $1 bet and that team winning their next game. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code WLCL when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 if the college basketball team of your choosing pulls off the win. That's code WLCL for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Indiana only, new customers only, restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
The Muhammad Ali Center reopens up public this Thursday, April 1st. Enjoy the interactive museum, educational and special events geared to inspire young adults to pursue.
It's all right. It's okay. It happens.
Truth be told, the policies that impacted Black
It's all good.
Ali Center are encouraged to purchase tickets.
I think Steve said I was going to do the first hour, and he was hoping to be back by the second hour.
To celebrate.
We'll see. We'll see.
Located in downtown Louisville, health and safety guidelines will remain in place.
This is
Yeah.
listening to 93.9 The Ville
We'll see. We'll see if it works out.
studio.
He kind of told me, he was like, well, I'm going to be home during the first, or like kind of driving during the first hour, but he's like, I should be home by the second hour. I can set up at home.
Oh, my goodness. And you certainly are in love with him here in Louisville. Marcus in the open floor, hops incredible. Here comes Maybin off the steal. Oh, my goodness.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Maybin. You're about midway to the midday with Marcus Maybin. And you can call in, I lay back and just listen to Marcus Maybin. So sit back and relax and watch Maybin. Break it down like this. Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio. Time for Middays with Marcus Maybin on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maybin and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maybin. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station.
Is that a good fast fade right there? Is that what you want right there?
Listen, here's the thing. I don't get strikes for the intro. So
okay.
Yeah, so
because that's not copyright.
Listen, whatever Ken did, he owns this one, right? So I don't get dinged for that one. It's just the other regular music that gets me. But I didn't.
I'm just working on my fade.
Listen,
right?
I didn't think about it, but thank you for being on top of that.
It's kind of like a fadeaway, I'm working.
Listen. Now I'm going to be much more confident in my rejoins. With that being said, title of today's show, theme of today's show, explanation of today's show is it ends today. March 31st. It ends today. Steve Rummage on the road, Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
I'm intrigued by the title of the show. I'm willing. I'm with the listeners on this, waiting to find out what you are about to say. So it intrigues me. But kick it off real quick. I did sit and watch all the Louisville women's game last night. You can go ahead and blame me, actually, because I listened to the first half on the radio with Nick Curran. Great first half. Turned on the TV in the second half, and I should have turned it off halfway through. I was a jinx.
I think there is at least 76.2% of the fan base that can, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, take blame for the second half change of the guard. Listen, 78.6 and 3 refs.
Oh, they look so good though during the first half.
That's why everybody was so confident jumping on Twitter and making all their go us jokes and all that stuff. And I'm sitting there like, are y'all like new to this Cardinal fan thing? Like, y'all, the chestiness.
We are playing the number 1 team in the country.
We are playing the number 1 seeded team in the country. Every single, okay, Brian, this can be interpreted as a bit of loser coming out of my mouth, but I'll call this part the basketball player realist in me. When you have it rolling and you have a chance to go up 15 and you miss an easy one, right? Then they come down and get 2 back-to-back and ones and cuts it to 8, right? You realize like coaches and people who watch film later on, it could literally be with 6 minutes left in the first quarter, you had the opportunity to go up 18 and instead you're up 9, right?
Yeah.
Off of 2 plays, 1 miss and 2 and ones given up by the referee. Coach Walls is going to literally go back to one of those spots and say, that was the game right there. But here's the thing. People can't wrap their minds around the momentum swing of 2 terrible calls early in when we got it going. Because the sport is hard, especially when you're playing, when you're like size-wise, you're completely outmatched. You have the confidence going, like you have the belief going, like all those things are so difficult to combat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you could see some of those calls and says, we're up 9. That call's going to come back and bite us.
Yep.
You're up so that call's going to hurt later on. Not a big, that's a confidence builder. That's even the late call. You remember when the girl tried to bust through a handoff and she didn't get called at first on Haley. Haley was taking the ball off a little handoff.
I remember exactly.
And you remember the girl cracked, and everybody screamed, "That's a foul!"
Yep.
Right? Everybody at home screamed, "That's a foul." I had my windows open. I said some things that I'm embarrassed that my neighbors heard me say. Right? That's how angry I was. And I usually, like, Brian, you've seen me do you can watch me. You can watch a game with me and you'll hear me yell, "That's a foul," at least 17 times a game.
I got it. You're a former player.
Listen, that's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. But here's the thing. When I saw that one, it was
there were some other words in there.
Foul, right? But here's the problem. You know what the problem was with that one? And I want you to notice, okay, we're playing intense. This is me bringing y'all inside of this game. And listen, after I say what I say, you can go back to being generally, and you can call in 8150-939 is the number, 3831-939. You should probably text Twitter right now because my text line isn't up. I'm gonna need Brian to come in there and get that together during the break or whatever. But 8150-939 is obviously the number. Let me put it up on the YouTube channel. Okay. So the biggest problem with that play, and I want everybody to notice, and I reacted just like this in person. The biggest problem with that play is, first of all, they were late calling it. The referee is late calling that, right? So y'all realize, like, when you get scared, when somebody startles you, that startle, it only lasts less than a second, less than 1 full second. But guess what? Your heart is racing. Your emotions and anxiety are high for the next 8 minutes, right? When they called or they didn't call the first kind of 1 and 2 chucks and then finally was forced to call a foul, you realize one referee called jump ball. One referee called jump ball. The other one came in and said foul. You could see the anxiety, anger spike on that play right there because they felt like they had already given up quite a few questionable and ones. If you listen to Rebecca Lobo, she says, "I don't know about that. Like, if that's a foul." Like, you heard those and ones to their big men, to their centers. Those keep you in the game, and they're bad calls. And just because you're winning, it doesn't mean those don't really, really, really impact the game. And again, I'm just talking about right now in particular, that foul. Late call, one guy calls a block or I'm sorry, jump ball, and one referee calls an actual foul. So imagine the spike in Jeff Walls. Imagine the spike in Haley. Like, gee, like, y'all really are going to let them do whatever they want. And then you notice the very next play, Dana Evans gets the ball up top. You can see, I can't think of her name. She rolls so far up, and no guard has been able to get that close to Dana Evans without her drawing a foul. That, like, when I see high pressure teams, it's kind of, it's laughable now. People can't get that close to good guards. And she's up close, nipping at the ball. Dana's like, she's on her heels. Now you can blame Dana and say, "Oh, well, Dana changed her attitude." But I'm telling you, if I'm playing a game and somebody just is getting away with pushing me, my attention goes away from, what I'm supposed to do on this offensive end or this defensive end to what do I have to do to get the foul call?
Dana Evans was playing her heart out, man. I mean, it didn't affect her. She still hit 6 of 8 3-pointers. So she was playing well. I felt really bad for her at the end of the game. You could see the emotion coming out. This was her last game as a Cardinal, and she'll go down as one of the greatest Cardinals women's basketball players we've had. And it's hard. It's always hard to see that, but it was a good note to end on, a 24-point performance. And another thing, I know we're kind of getting more into the foul thing, but just kind of general.
I'm out of it.
Here.
I'm out of it. I just wanted to get that play. That play, you could see the biggest momentum swing. They end up going on a run after that and all that good stuff.
And with the women's team, it's one of those things where I really feel total confidence in all but maybe a handful of opponents. So there's like a handful of opponents that the women's team will play. But I'm like, tonight's going to be a game. And then there's about every other team outside of maybe 5 teams. I'm like, well, we're going to win. You know, I have confidence in the team that they'll get it together, even if they're not playing well. This was one of those ones that obviously was one of the handful of teams. I was worried going into the game. You know, we opened up as 10.5-point underdogs.
Oh, God.
That's not typical. I don't know the last time we've been that big of an underdog in women's basketball in years. And so I had that fear, and we came out hot. And I was like, all right, we're going to have the normal Cards team that I'm used to. I'm going to see a great performance. And I started to almost get cocky at halftime, and
of course you did, Brian.
They were talking about 20 minutes, or we're 20 minutes away from a Final Four here, and all this. And I was getting real excited.
Is Brian?
I immediately, within the first 5 minutes, knew something was wrong.
Brian, I need you to check and ask somebody, are you really staticky? Because you're coming through really staticky in my ears. So I was letting you talk like maybe it was just me. So okay, yep. You're
My mic is off?
Oh, something's bad. It's on and I can hear you, but it sounds really, really bad.
And you're on your own right now.
Okay, nice. Whatever you did now sounds great.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it fine now?
It's yeah.
Okay, I'm just not going to touch anything.
Okay, right there. That's perfect. Hold on. The text line says Maria Taylor is about to kick your ass for saying big man. Yeah, I understand that too. That's a part of my everyday lingo that I'm gonna have to work my way out, you know, when I make the transition into the women's games. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so everybody acknowledges it's kind of staticky. So here's the thing, big picture. This is what I mean when I say it ends today. This is not going to be it's not going to be a political statement. This is not going to be a cancel culture statement. This is a Marcus Maybin circadian rhythm basketball / football / my calendar. Some people say, you know, the new year starts on January 1st. Some people say, no, the earth rotates as such, where spring brings the new flowers and the rain and the new grass, and your year starts in spring. Some people just have 2 religions, and we're going to respect each other's religions today, because the religions is going to carry over into my sports world. What I'm speaking of, people, and I mean, I don't need it because I'm going to do it anyway. And if you want to be stuck in antiquated thinking, and if you want to stay in the cave, stay in the cave. Brian Hall. COVID sports year just ended last night. What do I mean by that, people? We had a senior dominated shot for shot best shooting team in men's basketball last year, ready to put the entire world on notice, as long as we didn't run into Florida State in the first, in which we wouldn't have. So we were going to end up on a big time run last year. We literally had the best, or one of the top 3 shooting teams in the entire country. Mac was ready to make a run. In my opinion, I don't care if you disagree. With that being said, we lost an entire opportunity with one of the best shooting teams in Louisville history. Don't at me. It's the truth. Your Stephen E. You won't have a 7-footer that can shoot as good as Stephen E. You're lucky if you get one of those every 10 years. A guy that with his athleticism, his shooting ability, free throw shooting team, I mean, we had so much firepower to boat race some teams. Okay. If you want to do I hated that team last year. Okay, whatever.
I think there's so many mixed opinions on that team.
Yeah, right.
Because there's some people who, like you all, say, well, they were a Final Four team, and then there's others like, oh, we would have been out the first weekend.
Right. And here's the thing. Today, I don't care. I'm going to put a bow on a COVID year today. You lost one of the top potential teams you've ever had, especially shooting. Now, if you're going to say because you played Virginia, Florida State, or Virginia, Florida State in your last couple of games and saying, oh, you suck at March. Like former national champion Virginia and Florida State, all right, he lost the last 3 out of 4. Yeah, yes. Yes, we had Virginia on the ropes. We lost it at the end of the game. And Florida State they had 2 lottery picks on that team. And you act like losing to Florida State was a late season meltdown.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm saying this now. That team was one of the best shooting teams in the history of Louisville. Okay. I get to my summer. My summer sucks because all the development that I was going to do in the summer, all of my development of my I wasn't going to put this, Quinn in over Dwayne Sutton. I didn't have minutes over Jordan Wara. I didn't have minutes. I didn't have minutes for Gabe Wisniewski or whoever. I didn't have minutes for anybody over Stephen Enoch and Malik Williams. That was a risk that I'm fine with Coach Mack being willing to take. I don't have any minutes for these young fellas. I'm going to work their asses, pardon my French, during my summer. This is what I'm going to do. And he made that bet. And lo and behold, he lost his entire summer plan on my roster composition. Okay, I'm going to take Josh and I'm going to turn him into a point. I'm going to do this with this guy and I'm going to get this guy better doing this. He lost his entire summer. But we can't even get guys in the gym for an entire summer of guys who I couldn't play over Jordan, Dwayne, and Stephen Enoch.
Well, to his credit, too, it was one of those things where, do I sound all right?
Yeah.
Where we didn't really know 100% if Jordan Wara was going to be coming back or not. We had Jay Scrubb on the brink, and we're like, is this guy coming or not? And to be honest, it's hard from a coach's perspective to kind of piece together a roster when you have 3 or 4 fluid situations going on, and you're like, this could be the best player that we have on the team, or he might not even be here.
And he could be the best player on your team, or he could not even be here and be on his way to the NBA to get drafted by the Clippers. I don't know. Everybody has the same problem. Everybody wasn't in the same situation. Everybody didn't have the most veteran team in college basketball. Everybody didn't lose 6 seniors in 1 year. And again, play through it, play through the foul, play through the whistle, stay locked in. I get no summer development. I go in this year. I'm playing my best basketball. I just busted Western Kentucky. I start off my season looking great. COVID pause.
Your best player also was only with the program for maybe 2 months, 3 months before the first game.
That part, I
just throw that in there.
Yeah, just throw that in there, right?
In the pile.
So, and let's keep in mind the distraction of we need a basketball game plan. If we're gonna just do conference games, we're gonna put together an Wade Houston invitational tournament. We're gonna call, organize, schedule, protocol, hotel, schematics of an entire tournament on the fly. You want to call, you want to play? Come on, let's go. Bam, bam, bam. Now I got to deal with Coach Calipari moving every single game we try to match up. I got to deal with him calling ESPN, trying to get our games moved so he can. I got to deal with him saying 7 days after coming back from England is too close, and then watch him reschedule another ACC opponent. Now, everybody's saying that I'm scared to play Kentucky. Like, let's not forget, all of a sudden, I'm scared to play Kentucky because they don't want to readjust anything in a fair way. So now I got to put that video. Like, just the distraction. COVID protocol, COVID pause. Oh my God. Now we come back. We're getting ready to play. Hey, Carly, can we talk to you for a second? Oh, sure, coach. Ready to make my national debut against the Big Ten? I'm ready. Go give Wisconsin some of that work. I'm the leader. Yeah. So, Carly, I think we're like a couple of hours outside of your safe zone of the protocols. So, for some reason, you can't play.
Sorry.
Well, what do you mean? I'm here. I'm warming up, and I got my negative test. And yeah, that's just your 6th negative test. You need one more.
That's BS.
No, Carly Jones, you get wasted off your 17-day layover COVID pause. Bam, 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 bam. Listen, I'll sprinkle in the 2 crappy moments. We took Clemson on a whim. Hey, ACC. Hey, you want to go to Clemson real quick? Get a game in? Hey, I really don't want to, just fresh off my COVID pause, but you know what? If it helps the ACC, screw it. Let's do it. Stinker. What was that final score? 45-48. Coach, you must have the worst offense in history. We took this game on the day notice in Clemson, South Carolina. We put up a stinker.
And to your point about the COVID pauses, I mean, there's nothing you can't downplay being in a rhythm. That's why teams get a hot streak. You know, Pitino's teams used to always do it. They'd hit a hot streak at a certain point of the year and they'd win 10, 15 straight.
Would get wasted sometimes.
Yeah.
They would get wasted multiple games in a row. Coach Pitino had to say, whoa, what's going on? Why are we getting wasted? It's almost like a psychological rebellion. When you're like, Coach, I'm going to work hard, but what you're doing right now is over the top. Yeah. And my brain, you ever see those horses? And I know this is a terrible comparison, but
we're in Kentucky, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah. Like this is, y'all going to have to just deal with this. You ever see those horses that refuse to be rode and they just lay down?
Oh, yeah, of course.
How funny is that?
Oh, it's hilarious.
Right? Like they actually adapted. They actually literally metamorphosized into a horse that can understand this is not my job. This
dude's trying to get on me, and I'm like, no,
it's
not going to happen.
Yeah, you're right. So the laying that, like, I think subconsciously an athlete can say, no, Coach, we had an 8-game winning streak. We lost last night. You're acting like.
So they're laying down, no pun intended.
Yeah, you're right. Right. Like, listen, subconsciously. Like when Coach Pitino's teams hit that wall, that means they were subconscious. Like, look, dude, I know the first game, like, I know we didn't do it. Hey, we didn't play good. We're drained. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? You lost to Pittsburgh. And they're like, Coach, all right. And look, and subconsciously in that room, you lost to Pittsburgh. Then the next game, you got busted by whoever.
I don't know if there is like a better example than Pitino when it comes to how intense a practice is in a certain situation. Like the guy knows how to make it real intense at the beginning, slow it down a little bit, kind of intensify it a little bit after a loss or something, and just like knows how to do it just right so the players respond.
He doesn't, but he can become self-aware.
Yeah.
30, 40 years in coaching, after that second loss, that's when you say, okay, guys, you're right. I'm wrong. 3 days off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not really, but you get my point. Like treadmill and free throws. But you have to coach 50 years to know that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, not to make this about Coach Pitino, but just you have to learn when to say go and when to say whoa, right? So,
and honestly, it's different even with each player to a certain degree, because some players respond to negative criticism, and some people you got to pick up.
Yeah,
and you got to understand that.
But he still has to keep. I know what you're saying, but he still has to keep the team theme. You can't just pick and choose.
Well, the head coach should have one mentality with the whole team,
right.
And then the assistants. One guy's going to be the hard guy. One guy's going to be the picker.
Right. Yeah. You need different sets of eyes, but the head coach still has team theme. Okay. So we're still going along. Listen, you start playing your good Georgia Tech basketball. You just got Gabe. The fan base has not been this excited all year. You can just listen to Kentucky, sports talk and realize how pissed your rival fan base is when you got your Gabe Wisnitzer. You're like, you know what? Now we got a body to at least clog up the paint. And we saw him get better from the first quarter or from the first half to the second. We watched it with our eyes. Uh-oh. Game on. We're literally, the Louisville fan base is literally saying, game on, let's go, right? COVID pause. You come back, you don't know how to practice, you don't know how to coach Mac. Let's not forget the second COVID pause, you lost your coach the entire pause as well. He comes back for one day and he has to go play North Carolina, who's starving.
It's hard when you haven't seen the team for 2 weeks. I mean, yes, okay, they're sending videos or he's sitting there watching a practice, but it's not the same feel as actually being there.
Not at all. Okay, so this happens. You get your Duke win, end of the season. You end up getting matched up with Duke. Hey, if y'all want to be contrarian, because that's what you have to be in radio. If you want to be contrarian and say, it's not hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. And then I say, if you beat a team, what do you do different? Nothing. You execute your game plan better, right?
Yeah.
Then you beat a team the second time. What do you change about your game plan? And it's hard to get desperation and changing your game plan because we just busted you twice.
Or you change your game plan and you mess everything up.
Right. So you can't just change your game plan for the third time, right?
Exactly.
Guess what they've done? They've tried 2 games with different game plans and saw 2 styles didn't work. They're getting a third shot at you with a third different game plan to attack you.
Not to mention, it's not just any third team. It's Coach K.
It's Coach K.
If you give him 3 chances to prepare for a team, there's no chance that he's not going to be prepared the third time if he's been beat twice.
Right. So think about it. You've taken 3 different shots from 3 different angles. The first 2, you were able to fend them off. The third one got you. Yes, that is how it works. That's why when you say it's really tough the third time, because you've actually seen different game plans, and we don't.
If you would tell me that we would get 2 out of 3 games against Duke every year, I would take it. It just happens to be that the third game was the one that fell in the tournament. The last one's always the one that matters. But if you give me 2 out of 3 in the last one, I'll take it every time.
And I'm not going to sit around and whine about Oregon State. And listen, I'm just going to say, even though it's one of those last spots to get in, UCLA, Oregon State, even though it's the last spot, I think Louisville deserved one of those last. At the very least, I think the board was manipulated to make Louisville the first one out. Again, I don't care what you say today. I don't care. I literally don't care, because I'm right and you're wrong. Your rival school, AD, is the chairman of the selection committee. If there's any way to embarrass you or make you look like...
He didn't even give a good response to it. Was so funny because I was so proud of Bob Valvano, because he was actually on the national broadcast and he was like, I don't think I'll be able to go into work tomorrow unless I ask this question, Mitch. And he was like, and he asked the question about Louisville. And to be honest, his response, Mitch Barnhart's, was not detailed at all. It was they were they were kind of teetering on that. They headed into the last day.
That was the perfect response, Brian, because that perfect response told me you didn't have a justification.
I didn't think he did.
Yeah, right. So
he was like, well, Oregon State went on a run in the Pac-12 and they slipped ahead of them.
That gave me everything I need to say, yes, I was teetering. Yes, I shouldn't have been teetering. Yes, I got jobbed. All can be, look, I say that with the basketball games. Yes, the referee did a poor officiating job. Yes, we missed some shots that we should have hit, but still, my shots is a part of the game. The other stuff is not a part of the game. You're introducing a new element from the outside to what I'm doing in between the lines. Okay.
His response should have been, well, Syracuse got in and y'all did not play Syracuse. If you all played one game against Syracuse, you could have switched spots.
Here's the thing. I felt better with a crap explanation.
It justified what I thought.
Yes, it made me feel better. So I'm like, no, that was perfect. It's when Mark Emmert, when he has the women's inequity issues, and then he says, I'm going to hire an outside firm. That just confirms the last time when we were saying, okay, we need a COVID protocol game plan, NCAA. That's up to the conferences. That's up to the schools. Okay, even before then, we need, we need a football game plan. That's up to the conferences. We'll shut everything down. Watching the SEC and the ACC get together and say, hey, y'all going to play, we going to play. Even if we got to do schedules with each other and conference, like, listen, watching people do it on their own, it's just confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. Marcus, the NCAA is, they're responsible and they do this the right way and they do that the right way. And I say, no, they don't. No, they don't. And now this COVID season is going to expose the inefficiency of the NCAA. And if you want to get my tapes from the beginning of COVID era and the problems you have with the NCAA, it all confirms exactly what I've been saying.
Well, I know we had several conversations before the bracket came out. We were like, there's a chance that we could be in this play-in game. And if that's the case, we could actually play into where we had hoped to be. Because we were like, we hope to kind of be like a 6 or 7 seed. And, if we get paired up, we could beat some of these 6 seeds and kind of claim that spot. But I will say this, we had a conversation and we said that one of the play-in, I can't remember who said it, if it was you or Steve or what, but we thought that one of the play-in teams was going to make a run.
Oh.
And I don't think we thought maybe to the Final Four like UCLA did, but I think that we thought they were definitely going to make it to a second weekend, and they've exceeded that.
Because we knew the tournament was going to be extremely misseeded because you were going to have people just hey, well, they look good. And like when you do a numbers game in the COVID year without basketball eyes, without people who are actually willing to get basketball players and say this team can be, Vegas, bringing Vegas in, not just a numbers game, bring some eyeballs to the selection committee.
And here's the
point being, I knew it was going to be misseeded. Go ahead.
Well, like I think that everybody can agree that Louisville was probably good enough to be a tournament team. We got,
of course,
we played the third least games of all the Division I basketball teams because of our COVID pauses that we had. If we had just played a couple more games, we would have been in. I think a lot of people also agree, though, that they probably didn't have a lot of faith in how far we would go. But because what we're seeing here with UCLA making a run and like you're talking about the missed seedings and just the uncertainty of all this whole season, you want to get your team in there and give them a chance because anything can happen.
Leading up to the game, I'm just like, look, just get in the tournament, take what they give you. Somebody, we're going to watch Ohio State get knocked out, and we're going to be playing Oral Roberts in the second round or something like that.
Does it make you mad how the NCAA did it too? How they had to have the protocols in by that Tuesday, and then that was the deadline, and it was done. And VCU, a 10 seed, goes and doesn't even play a game because they test positive. If it were me, I think the NCAA should have said, look, you have the right to be our first alternate, but you can't go to the NIT if that's the case because we need you in Indianapolis, and you're going to sit in a team hotel until we find out if there's a canceled game, and you just got to be ready to go.
Listen, that makes sense what you said, but you have to realize in order for that to happen, it was going to have to be approved by Mitch Barnhart. Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maybin on 939 The Ville.
Hey Cards fans, Zach here from Great Flood Brewing with a friendly reminder that we have a number of carryout options for you this season. Growlers for beer, bottled cocktails to go, and delicious food, as well as a heated patio, are all on offer at our Middletown restaurant. Growlers, cans, and a patio with heaters are available at our Highlands location. Please stop by. We'd love to say hello and can't wait to see you all soon. Call 502-208-0882 to reach your preferred location or follow us at Great Flood Beer, Great Flood Middletown on social media for updates. Thanks again.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming. And whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon Lang. When Matthew McConaughey plays you in a movie, as he did me in 2005's Two for the Money, you have to maintain a certain image. That's hard to do when you're going bald. I needed to do something, and it needed to be done fast. Parsley Waldman's Hair Center came to the rescue. Louisville and the Midwest Premier Hair Treatment Center not only gave me my hair back, but my self-confidence as well. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can start your journey back to a full head of hair today. I can tell you firsthand. From the minute you walk in the door to the time you leave, you are treated as if you were in a 5-star hotel. And now that it's been a year since my surgery, I look back at pictures from a couple years ago. I don't even look like the same person. The procedure was an amazing success, and it has totally reframed my face. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out not only how affordable it is, but how you can get your hair back today. Visit hairsurgery.com. That's hairsurgery.com. And tell them Brandon Lang sent you.
Here's what you missed on The Drive with Mark Ennis.
He's wanted this job before, and I think after the way Archie was such an a-hole every day, all the time, Woodson certainly is not that. And the fact that I think he knows so much about the job immediately and emotionally kind of values it, the soft skills will buy him a lot more. Yes, will buy him a lot more leniency than Archie's antics ever did.
The Drive, weekdays 3 to 6 on 93.9 The Ville.
We always have our focus around here at ESPN Louisville, not focused with an F, but with a PH.
Focus is sparkling water with caffeine, and it's putting sugary soda on notice with the newest flavor, Cola, which was just awarded Best New Product by BevNet Magazine.
Focus Cola has all the classic taste, but none of the harmful ingredients. No sugar, no sweeteners, no guilt. It's what's missing that matters.
Haven't had it before? Try Focus Cola for just $12 when you use code NEWCOLA at www.drinkfocus.com.
I'm Kim from Lovett Landscaping. As a new season approaches, James and I would like to thank all of our loyal customers in Louisville, from the Highlands to Germantown, Audubon Park, St. Matthews, and many more. We've had 32 successful years thanks to you all. Lovett specializes in all landscape designs and installations. Here at Lovett, we always say, we don't leave until you say you love it. Give us a call at 635-1685 or Google Lovett Landscaping. That's LUV-IT, Lovett Landscaping.
Man, how can you afford gas for that big SUV? I pay less for gas than everyone else. I got the free Get Upside Gas app and get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas. Hold on. You're getting up to 25 cents off a gallon with the free Get Upside Gas app while I'm paying full price? You know it. People earned over $1 million last year. You just got to take a picture of your gas receipt and bam, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm downloading the free Get Upside Gas app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code HOT for a 25-cent a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next tank. Just download the free Get Upside app at the App Store or Google Play and use promo code HOT. Save money on gas on every fill-up. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code HOT. That's HOT. Visit getupside.com for terms.
Lawrence waited.
You're listening to
Lawrence waited.
from the OPC Services Studio.
with Marcus Maybin.
Going to do, or they may end up adding the kid from Western Carolina. So, what's your take? You think Jared West is going to commit to come to Louisville today, or are we just going to wait for Rock, you know, a kid from Florida?
Put it, Lawrence, I appreciate the call. Put it this way, with that question, great question. I like our options. Put it that way.
There's gonna be plenty.
Yeah, right. I like our options. I like who we're in on. I like, again, yesterday I explained it to everybody. The wins are not necessarily, it's like when you're a salesman, when you get in-home visits, when you can get past the phone call, okay, hey, we're selling, spas, hey, you got to get to the phone call. Then you got to get to it. If you can get your buyer to the credit check, if you can get them all the way from let me buy or sell your home, Derek A. Stewart, let me, let work with me as a realtor, work with me as a salesman, and I can get you all the way to get you to the house, get you the credit check, get you approved. Now, if you don't pull the trigger at the finish line, you know what? I'm a good damn salesman. I'm a good damn realtor. I got you the house you wanted to look at. I got you to the finish line. And if you go buy elsewhere and 8 years later you come back to me, or whatever housing, turnover is, you come back to me and say, hey, I went with another realtor on another deal, but I probably should have went with you last time. You know what I'm saying? I won that buyer for life. I won that customer. And it says I'm a damn good realtor.
Well, I have a point on that too, and I won't mention any names, but I had a tire issue yesterday, and so I go to Bob Alvano suggested a place to go out by his place because I needed to get it fixed pretty quick, and he's like, they're real honest people with you. So I go there, the guy checks out my tires, he just feels them, and he's like, dude, you got a broken belt in this one. He's like, you need this tire change. But he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, we only sell new tires here. You're gonna pay $200 to buy it here. I would suggest going and just getting a used tire at this place. And I was like, man, I've never heard somebody go to a place and suggest another place. And I was like, dude,
or very
you,
rare.
Man. I was like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're saving me like $150 by not doing it yourself. I'll be back. I'll be back. Because you won my business over, even though you sent me somewhere else this time.
Yep. No. Okay. So last night, we'll follow that up with another.
Real quick though, I wanted to make a point off Lawrence's call. So I was kind of having this conversation yesterday. So this is going to be one of the biggest turmoil off seasons for every team. I'm not just talking about Louisville. Just because of the transfer rule, it's going to be complete chaos, and there's going to be a lot of movement. And every university that I follow, I read the message boards, and everybody's like, we're losing everybody. And I'm like, well, keep in mind, there's a lot of people out there. But when you look at Louisville's roster, we have maybe 2-3 roster spots. So we have to be selective, because it's not like, hey, I'm with Lawrence. I like the West kid from Marshall. I like Christian Lander. I like Rocket Watts. But there's also other names out there, and we have to realize we only have 2 or 3 spots. So let's not just jump and take Rocket Watts, because there might be a better option over here.
But put it this way. I like the rooms that we're in. If we're bringing in guards, I like the rooms that we're in. I think all these guys can help us beat any team. Listen, with my proper development of my big men and my Malik back and everything else, I like my roster being able to put them out there against anybody in the country. With the options we have as grad transfer, I mean, I don't see a situation where everybody ends up choosing somebody else, elsewhere over us. But I'll even say this. This is kind of funny. I'll blame Steve on this. Steve was stalking these young men's Instagrams last night. It was all Steve. Steve brought it to my attention. He said, Hey, Marcus, you want to hear something funny? Said, what's up? Said Lance Thomas joined Malik Williams on the live. It was DeAndre, Carleague. They were literally on live. And somebody said, Lance, would you come back? Would you come back to Louisville? Somebody asked Lance Thomas that on the live last night.
Man, I remember him.
Right. You know what Lance Thomas said?
Yeah. For sure.
You know what he said? Yeah, I mess with Mac. He said, I mess with Mac.
I think Mac has a good reputation out on the recruiting trail with the players. They like him because he's younger. He's kind of got that social media lifestyle. I think they like it.
No, just the fact that he said, man, listen, if I wasn't already committed, to play with my guy, you know what I'm saying? I would come back to Louisville in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So think about that. Like, these guys that you missed the first time. This kid, Noah Locke,
mm-hmm.
he chose Florida over Xavier. We're meeting virtual, I believe, with Noah Locke today, or he met with him yesterday. So again, those are wins. If I can get you to this last sales pitch, it means you're doing a good job out here.
And it's one of those things where we just have to practice patience. We could have a new player on the roster by the end of the week,
today.
Yeah. But at the same time, don't get scared if we don't, because you got to keep in mind, like, we still are Louisville basketball, so we're still going to be one of the top 10 destinations for all of these people that are out on the market. We should be able to go get who we want, but if not, there's plenty of other. I mean,
you still
to be
fight.
honest, you see a guy like Christian Lander. So let's use him as an example. He was like a 5-star coming out of high school. He considered Louisville. We would really like him, but when you look at what he did, and don't get me wrong, I'll be super excited if I hear that he's committed today. At the same time, you look at what he's done at Indiana in his freshman year, he averaged like 2.5 points. So you're like, is that really what we want?
Speaking of, Steve purposely tried to sabotage the mood of the show by sending me a tweet from Jeff Robins. Indiana basketball coach Mike Woodson plans to retain elite recruiter and talented assistant coach Kenya Hunter.
Boo.
Boo! I got to get to this phone line to try to pep us up a little bit. Are we looking at Jerry over there? Jerry, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind? Jerry, you there? Did you fall asleep?
He should be there now.
Jerry,
you there?
Jerry, you there?
I'm here.
Okay,
Hey, Marcus,
fire.
thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. Fire away.
Hey, how come nobody's talking about that Justin Powell kid from Oldham County? That kid is awesome. He looks like Steve Nash when he plays. And word is he wants to be here at home. And that's all I got. I just want to hear your take on that. Thanks for taking my call.
Jerry, I appreciate that call. Brian.
I believe that boy bleeds blue. That might be why we haven't been
Jerry,
talking about it.
I know you know that I know what you were doing right there.
Jay's a good caller.
Jerry,
Jay's a Louisville fan.
Don't bait me into getting mad at Coach Mack or something like, Coach, why aren't you going after? Yeah, Marcus.
Well, they've reached out. That he was on the Louisville was on the list of people that reached out to.
He reached out to say, hey, somebody called in. Look, caller Jerry said you might be interested. So if your interest mutual, we'll talk to you. If not, good luck in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's one of those things where I don't think Mac's not trying. I think Mac put the initial feeler out, and he's like, hey, are you interested? And Justin Powell's like, if Kentucky doesn't offer. And Coach Mac was like, all right, thanks for the call. See ya.
And not to mention, Coach Mac he's uncomfortably candid about, dude, I'm not going out. I'm not doing that. Look, I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing the waiting for Justin Powell.
To be honest, he's smart. If it's pretty much a long shot that he's going to end up at Louisville, don't get involved in a recruiting battle and then hear that, oh, Kentucky beat Louisville out for Justin Powell. And then everybody wants to be like, oh, Coach Mac got out-recruited by Calipari again. And it's like, no, he never had a chance against Calipari because this kid was going to Kentucky the whole time.
From the beginning. But here's the thing. You know what Coach Mac did say? I'm sure you're going to get the SEC transfer rule reversed just for you. So I understand, you're think about that, Brian.
That's the one thing that we have going for us, because I was kind of like, I wonder if he wouldn't be allowed to transfer in conference, or if he'd want to get out of the SEC and go to a better conference, the ACC.
Do you think there is a chance in HE double hockey sticks
that Kentucky can't get
that Kentucky can't rewrite the rule book on transfers being eligible immediately? Listen.
Hey, you want to go to Arkansas?
Listen.
But you want to go to Kentucky? That's fine. Go ahead.
Listen. Never in history has a person been allowed to transfer without penalty because they lost a coach or anything having to do with the NBA.
Hey, but we can't say too much, though, all right?
Unprecedented changing of the rules for Olivier Sarr. Next year, another rule change. He will be eligible to play for Kentucky, even though the rule was based specifically on a competitive advantage of not allowing in-conference transfers without extra penalties on the transfer.
Well, luckily the ACC has already said that's okay, because we did that right here with Matt Cross.
Oh, and here's the thing, Brian. Did you ever go look here before we hit the top of the hour? I'll finish this strong. And by the way, we will have Steve Rummage allegedly joining us second hour. I'll just throw that. Yeah, allegedly. So like I won't count.
Quotes.
Listen, I won't count on it, but if he does, it's all good. So here's the thing, Brian. Did you by any chance go look at the Kyle Tucker video?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think about that? First of all, I want you to do Steve's job. Explain to people what you saw.
Let me pull it up.
Okay. While Brian's pulling up the Kyle Tucker video, he's going to give you just a 45-second rundown on what he sees. We were supposed to talk about this yesterday. I dropped the ball in particular because there's something. I asked Steve a question after we both watched the video together again last night. I got people's general opinions, specific opinions. Now all we need is Brian Hall to land the dismount. What about Kai Tandy? Texas says there was 1,000 guys in the train. Oh yeah, like everybody's gonna be in the portal. And I can't imagine they're hurting some coaches' feelings too right now. That's probably one of the most interesting things that guys are willing to say to their coach. I got options and I want to explore them. What kind of savage relationship?
How far back was the Kyle Tucker video?
Oh, never mind, Brian. Look. I'll speak for you on this one. There's a video of Kentucky basketball players playing in an open park, right? 10 hours ago, Brian. Kentucky basketball players playing in an open park. And when you watch it, if you're a Kentucky fan, I was literally like kind of like cringing on behalf of the player, because I'm like, dude, Isaiah, if you're trying to get to the league, get that video off the internet immediately. And I do mean immediately. If I'm hold on, sorry.
I got it.
Okay. I was gonna send it to you. Just give everybody a quick rundown of what you see.
All right, so it looks like we have a classic 10-on-10 game. It looks like it's at one of the parks that are kind of right there by the dorms, but they're definitely like, shaded area.
Yep,
street ball for sure.
Who do you recognize in that video?
Say that again.
Who do you recognize in the video? Isaiah Jackson, Lance Ware, Jacob Toppin, Dante Allen, and Zan Payne hooping with a bunch of random dudes.
Yeah, then there's like 10 other guys that aren't basketball players.
The problem is, outside of height, you can't really tell who's who.
That's what I was going to say.
I know
I can see Isaiah Jackson because he kind of stands out. Other than that, I'm like, I don't know.
You're right. You literally can't tell who is who on the video.
And then Isaiah Jackson just sits back and snowbirds the whole time.
If I'm a and somebody like cursed at him for doing that, like so they were somewhat competitive out here. So when
it's like the Rucker going on, man.
Only not
even close.
Only not. There's a car leak video. I'm going to show you the car leak video, and you compare it to street ball versus street ball. I'm telling you, if I'm a Kentucky fan, I look at that video like,
what are you doing out there?
No, definitely. What are you doing? But here's the problem: the basketball player, me, I did that. Me and Kevin Smiley in the middle of the damn near season. if we had an unseasonably warm day, we're gonna wind up. We should not
Coach
be out
obviously
there.
didn't know about that.
Yeah, he obviously didn't know. But you get my point. Like, they don't stand out. Body development, they're dribbling. Like, I'm like, this is not a good look.
No, we had down at Western, we had a rec center, and some of the basketball players would play just pickup games in the off season.
But you should know immediately.
Yeah,
you should know.
I knew right away who they were.
Right. You watch this, and I'm telling y'all, this is not shade. This is me saying, you need to get this. You need to get that video
Well,
caught.
not only that, I'll say this: when I would watch some of the rec ball games where some of the basketball players would play in it, even
all with unbelievable savings. Whether you have towing, plowing, or hauling needs, we're sure to have the truck you're looking for. Hurry in, our slam dunk savings won't last long. O'Brien Ford, just a short drive to Shelbyville. Drive a little, save a lot, or visit o'brienford.com.
The sounds of spring can often be followed by the sounds of a broken air conditioner. So if you hear your AC unit making some unwanted noises, call DFH Company today. Buy a complete drain system and receive a free UV light, which cleanses the airflow throughout your duct system, plus 18-month special financing. It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard to not call DFH Company today at 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions subject to credit approval.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
The number 2 seeded Louisville women's basketball team season came to a close last night as they lost 78-63 to number 1 seed Stanford. The Cards had a 12-point lead at halftime, but Stanford got hot in the second half and never looked back. Dana Evans led the way for the Cards in her final game with 24 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists on 6 of 8 shooting from three-point range. We will now move on to the WNBA draft. Coach Walls talked after the game about the season.
It's a tough way to go out. There's no question about it because, our goal was to get to a Final Four. And unfortunately for us, we just fell one ball game short. Actually, one half short. But again, you've got to tip your hat to Stanford.
The Cards finished the year 26-4. The Louisville baseball team also had a tough night as they fell to 16-7 on the year with a 13-12 loss to Cincinnati at Cincinnati last night. Outfielder Trey Leonard led the way for the Cards with 4 hits on 6 at-bats, including 3 RBIs. The Cards will be back in action on Friday when they start their 3-game series with Wake Forest at 6 o'clock. And our coverage will begin right here on 93.9 The Ville around 5:50. Just a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home for live play-by-play coverage of the NCAA tournament. As yesterday on our sister station ESPN 680, Gonzaga defeated USC 85-66, and UCLA upset Michigan 51-49. The Final Four is now set with Gonzaga, UCLA, Houston, and Baylor. On the women's side, the Final Four is set as well, as it is UConn, Arizona, Stanford, and South Carolina. And last but certainly not least, just a reminder, as baseball season approaches, ESPN Louisville is your home for the Cincinnati Reds all season long. And our first game will be this Sunday when the Cards take on the Cardinals at 12:40. You can catch that on ESPN 680. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maybin is next. This is SportsCenter.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The Muhammad Ali Center reopens to the public this Thursday, April 1st. Enjoy the interactive museum, educational programming, and special events geared to inspire young adults to pursue greatness. Experience temporary exhibit, Truth Be Told, the policies that impacted Black lives. Visitors of the Ali Center are encouraged to purchase tickets online at alicenter.org in advance, but on-site tickets are available. Join us this week to celebrate the Ali Center reopening, located in downtown Louisville. Health and safety guidelines will remain in place.
Matrix Integrations, your local IT solutions and managed services provider, hopes you're enjoying springtime. Matrix Integration has been in business for 40 years and has 4 Kentuckiana locations. Matrix Integration's premier offering, My Assurance, ensures your IT solutions are aligned with your business outcomes and provides a predictable, streamlined budget. Visit matrixintegration.com/contact for your free consultation. ESPN Louisville trusts Matrix with their IT solutions, and you should too. Matrix Integrations.
Hey guys, it's Andy Sweeney here. When it was time to expand our offices and studios at ESPN Louisville, guys, the choice was easy. Realm Construction. Find them online today, realmconstruction.com. They're family owned and have been serving the Louisville area now for 60 years. Owners Rich Banks and Bill Receiver could not have been easier to work with. Their knowledge, professionalism, and attention to detail were absolutely top-notch. Bottom line, Realm Construction did everything they said they would do and more. Realm Construction specializes in commercial general contracting. You've probably seen their work at 4th Street Live, as well as many healthcare facilities around the area. For their full portfolio, visit realmconstruction.com. We trusted Realm Construction for our expansion, and you should too. For your next project, use Realm Construction. Online at realmconstruction.com or give them a call, 581-9191.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
DFH Company is the company for you. Simply dial 968-6222, or you can look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Inquire about that Mitsubishi mini split, people, for that hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Again, simply dial 968-6222, or you can look them up online at dfhcompany.com. I'm sure that wasn't the best transition you were expecting. The man of the hour, of the second hour, Steve Rummage, is not quite in the building, but he's at home and he's on the line. Welcome, Steve.
Yeah, what's going on, man? I mean, we're talking about out of the frying pan and right into the fire. So let me remind you, 68 teams started the tournament. Only the best have survived. UCLA. I don't know if UCLA is one of the best, but they've survived. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new customers in the center of the action. Bet $1 on any tournament game. And if your team wins, you win $100. $100. It's that simple. Turning $1 into $100 is 100 to 1 odds. Pick any college basketball team that is still in the hunt for your shot at winning. $100 is all it takes. There's no better way to put your money where your mouth is and test your college basketball knowledge than with DraftKings Sportsbook. And don't worry if college basketball isn't for you. DraftKings Sportsbook offers daily odds on pro basketball, hockey, and golf. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. So download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code WLCO when you sign up. Turn $1 into $100 if the college basketball team of your choosing pulls off the win. That's code WLCO to turn $1 into $100 for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Indiana only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Trust me, people, there is a meme out there. You've seen it before. It's the kid at the desk, and he's holding his breath or something, and he has all these veins popping out of his head. I picture Steve listening to the first hour. I know Steve knows how I feel, so he has to listen to me, knowing what I know, listening to me wax poetically about the big picture of theme of the show today, Steve, is COVID sports is over. It's over as a conversation with me. It's listen, your vaccines are out at a level where if you want them, you can get them. Whatever the rules are in the building are the rules, whatever. I'm not talking about it as an excuse anymore. I'm not going to bring it up in the women's basketball, in the men's basketball, in the men's football. I'm not talking about developmental years they lost. I was just doing a big picture first hour. I receive a text from you. I know you are all about progress. You are all about hope and change. So I'm moving forward, Steve. What is on your mind in particular? Listen, you can take a piece of that big picture. I'm done with COVID sports, or you can move us into the new year, because my sports year, my COVID sports just officially ended last night. Take it from there.
Well, to your point, I think you're 100% right. I mean, look, Alabama's already come out and said, hey, we're playing full stands next year. The NFL come out just this week and said we fully expect to have full stands.
Right.
And with the vaccine, I mean, look, I don't know. I mean, whether it bothers you or not, the facts are the vaccine's out now. Pretty much anybody can get it. If you don't want it, that's your business, and you move on. So I would say things will start to move back to normal. I think somebody said, like, even the president said something like July 4th. Or the beginning of July will probably be, everything back to normal. So with that being said, I agree with you. And it helped me move on today when I saw my Louisville football team.
I knew he couldn't wait, people. He was dying to. Listen, I didn't want to break this news because this is Steve's to break.
When my Louisville football team went out, and we don't go out and we don't schedule 4 out-of-conference games and say, okay, well, we got to play our rival, and then let's just try to find 3 other teams that maybe we can beat. So then we only have to win 4 more games or 3 more games, and we're technically bowl eligible now. So we're going to play 3 gimmies. So then we only got to win 3 games
a year.
That's all we got to do. And we'll get into a bowl every year. And our fans will go, yay, we're in a bowl.
Everybody gets rings.
Yeah. Yay. We did it again. And then some years we'll really surprise them and we'll win 7. And they'll go, yay, we won 7.
10-year deals for everybody.
Yeah. Give everybody an extension. High five. Here, give me your backer. Spit it in my mouth. All that good stuff. Like, Louisville goes out and schedules some dudes.
What kind of dudes? I mean, are we talking, yeah, it's a dude? Are we talking about it's a dude, or it's like, dude?
Dude, listen. Louisville goes out and schedules a home and home with the University of Georgia
State.
You would think that would be the Kentucky thing to do. Georgia.
We're going like the Bulldogs, Georgia.
Bringing in the Bulldogs in 2026 and heading to Athens between the hedges in 2027. It was awesome. I mean, when you look down, Jack Grossman had a great tweet earlier, man, and he was like, when you look down, I mean, the past speaks for itself, who Louisville schedules out of conference wise.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look in conference, then you look in the future and you say, okay, they're playing Ole Miss neutral site this year. They've got the IU series coming up. I think a 3-game series with IU. They have Central Florida, who, like Jack said in his tweet, has been the best group of 5 team. I think people would agree with that. Now you go out, you sign the home and home with Georgia in early September. Looks like it's going to be a 2nd or 3rd week game. I think September 18th and 19th are the 2 dates. I love it, man. I love it.
And again, this is why I came to the University of Louisville in basketball, because of that schedule.
Absolutely.
And I want players who know, yeah, you'll be going to the hedges, or you'll be bringing the Bulldogs in here on your senior year.
No, absolutely. And I mean, the class that he's about to recruit, I believe will be the ones that will still be here, or I mean, I guess the freshmen now will be too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's big games on big games lined up in these out of conference schedules.
So that really did help you transition as my new year starts right now.
Well, because it kind of gave you the juice back to say, I immediately was like, oh man, I'm going to Athens. Like, oh, that's going to be awesome. Like, a September night in Athens, Louisville, Georgia. Like, oh, come on. That's aesthetically is going to be beautiful. That red and white against that red and black. It's just going to be like, oh, this is awesome. So, that part of it kind of brought me back. And then I hear you talking today, and I'm like, and whether people like, I don't know, I know people joke about wrestling, but I mean, WrestleMania is this weekend. They're putting, I think, 35,000 in Raymond James Stadium.
Right.
I mean, I know Raymond James holds a lot more than that.
Right.
But I mean, it's kind of like they're making a big deal. They're like, hey, this is the first event back with some fans,
Right.
Then you see, like I said, you start to kind of realize, like, crowdless sports are over.
Right.
Right.
Crowdless and it's not just the crowds, it's protocol sports. Is what I'm looking forward to most. The anxiety in the back of your mind of summer protocol sports.
Yeah.
Because that was the real harm to the sport.
Well, I agree. And like, you can start to now prep for, when Jeff Walls and the women's team bring that team back next year, you can go. When Chris Mack puts this roster together, which,
listen, and I don't mean to cut you off. I want to join in onto your point. When you're like just sitting at home, right? And like Marcus and Steve are just sitting around talking about watching Carleek Jones and Jalen Withers work open run, and knowing, I got a summer of that. Whatever development happens, it's a summer without protocol shutdown. I get a full summer to work. My God, I got a full summer of an uncomfortable, I don't want to say uncomfortable like in his job, but Coach Mack is definitely uncomfortable with, you know what I'm saying, with just you're losing. He's uncomfortable with losing. So uncomfortable coach, you got to get better or get out of here. You got to get better or get out of here. Comfortable coaches don't replace 2 assistant coaches. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Self-aware coaches can do that. Stuff got to change. My summer program got to change. My workout program, my individual instruction got to change. Like, stuff has to improve, because here's the thing. Coach Mack does the exact same thing I do. He looks at Elite 8 basketball. Coach Mack, he knows out of the first 2 rounds, everything before the Sweet 16, Coach Mack is like, yeah, we could have beat any of them teams. We if I give my guys a good game plan, they execute, we could have beat any of them teams, whatever. But now he's watching the basketball where he says, okay, I need a roster that can beat Baylor now to be where I want to be. I need a roster that can beat Gonzaga, Michigan. I need this. This is what I need to do with a roster. I need elite skill sets that can compete at this level. Now he's getting serious. Like, now game plan for next season, macro right now. When you watch Michigan and UCLA go at it, when whoever you're watching, that's the expectation. So now your prep starts there. Steve, while I got you, just give me a pause and let me get to this phone line. He's been hanging on for a good little moment. Wayne, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Marcus and Steve. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Yeah, I've been hearing some scuttle, but I don't know. And I was telling Brian, I don't know if it has any legs that the next assistant could be Kenny Payne. And I just wanted to throw that around and hear what you guys thought. And me and Brian was talking about the money. Pay the man. If that's who you really want, pay him.
Look, Wayne,
that would be an interesting choice.
No, very interesting. I appreciate the call, Wayne. Steve, you want to address that one, Steve?
He's closer to being the Knicks head coach than he is Louisville's assistant. Kenny Payne's not coming back to college to take any assistant job.
It would cost $1 million to get him as an assistant.
Listen, $1 million? $1 million? You'd have to pay him. You'd have to pay him $3 million. You'd have to pay him a head coach's salary.
I'm just saying his salary for the New York Knicks is $900,000.
Yeah. He's not leaving for $1 million. I guarantee you that.
Listen, and cost of living in Louisville be damned. Kenny, technically, if you just take our $1 million, then the cost of living in Louisville is not as high as New York. So it'd be almost like we're paying you 1.5 if you come back to Louisville for $1 million.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound right?
Not. Yeah, look, Wayne, if anybody tries to say that to you again around town, just slap them in the mouth. Just say you don't know anything. I'm sorry.
No.
With all due respect, you don't know anything.
No, Wayne. So that's not directed towards you, Wayne, but there's just a no chance. There's a no chance.
Yeah.
And the companies that he's built his brand on will not not support it.
Yeah, it's not Adidas. So yeah,
right.
That's not happening.
Okay, so Steve, watching your Carleek Jalen Withers open run.
Yeah.
Real quick, do you have an opinion on the Kentucky open run? And I call it open run in jest.
No, not really.
Were you happy? Were you happy to see that?
I mean, yeah, good for them, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so I'll take it back. I just looked it up. It's $1.5 million for the Knicks.
That sounds a little more right. I was going to say
he was $900,000 when he was at Kentucky, and then he went up to 1.5 for the Knicks.
Okay, that makes
so it would cost $2 million to get him as an assistant, which is half of what
that's what I'm saying.
making.
You would literally have to pay him a third of what I mean 3/4 of what Mac's making. Like it would have to be one of those like, yeah, we're hiring this guy because we're trying to get Mac to quit.
You're literally putting him in there to push somebody out the door. Let me get to the phone.
No, I don't have much on the Kentucky Open run was pathetic. I don't know. I imagine that's what the Transylvania scrimmage looked like, I guess.
Ralph, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maybin. Fire away.
Okay, Marcus, this is to you. I had a flashback last night watching Gonzaga.
Indeed.
It reminded me of Denny Crum's team back in the 70s. Just running up and down the court, it was beautiful. That's what I thought of, Denny Crum's team.
Listen, I'm. You know what, Ralph? I do appreciate what you just did. I appreciate the call, and I'll tell you why. Ralph, I thought you were going to go there. Ralph,
I know. I did too. I was like,
I thought you were going to make fun of me. Ralph, last night, I tried at least 7 times to watch my toughest, most disappointing loss against where I'm literally personally responsible for Gonzaga's greatness because we didn't wipe the floor with them. I'm pathetically ashamed of that game. So, Ralph, thank you so much for not you being the one to bring that up and let me bring it up on my own. I tried to watch it 3 times, 4 times. I couldn't do it.
You know, the weird thing about Gonzaga too, let me just say this. I heard Blankenbaker this morning kind of saying like, you know, they're becoming a hated team, you know, and he couldn't figure out why. And I'm like, you know, I think I know why. I think traditional fans are just like, you don't deserve to go undefeated.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's 100% certain.
Like because it's like, okay, if you go undefeated, you're gonna be like throwing Gonzaga up there with some of the great, like as much as it pains me to say, like that Kentucky team, if they don't piss all over themselves in Indianapolis and each other, and it just all over the whole court, just a puddle of piss.
What would that team do to Gonzaga this year? Like,
yeah, it's like that team goes 40-0. The reason you didn't want them to is it's like, dang, man, in the history books, you're gonna look back and be like, that team was imposing,
right?
Like they were beast, and you go back and you're like, man, they beat Kansas by like 50, you know, and they beat good teams, and even, you know, they played SEC ball and they took everybody's best punch, and it's like Gonzaga, it's like, y'all don't deserve to be on the list. I mean, I do think that there will always be a little bit of an asterisk next to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'll be like, yeah, but like, yeah, but it was just like, I can't remember that was that St. Joseph team. Were they undefeated when they lost to Oklahoma State?
Talking about Delonte West and Jameer
Nelson.
They were close to it. They were close to it.
If not, they were only like 1 loss.
Yep.
But it's like there's always going to be kind of an asterisk next to Gonzaga if they go undefeated this year, just because I think people will always be like, yeah, but I mean.
But here's the thing, Steve. There's always an asterisk on their tournament. In the last 5 years, 10 years, there's an asterisk by most of their season success. Because even if they do beat somebody early in the year in a Maui Invitational or something, there's West Coast Conference asterisk every year.
That look, and listen, Gonzaga does a great job. Like they will play anybody.
Right.
I mean, that's they don't run from the competition. I mean, I will say that. I just think it's like you're willing to say, yeah, they're the best team this year. And I think they are. After watching them, look, I even apologized to Locke. I was like, yeah, I was wrong, dude. They're the best team in the country. I just don't think they're all time great. It's like, could they beat, like you just said, take the top teams from about any year.
Right.
It's like, could they beat that team?
No.
They beat that team?
No.
I mean, it's them and Baylor. Like, you know, it's like there's it's y'all in Baylor. I mean, like, you know,
right.
Like, that's what we're delivered here. And I mean, I think they'll bust UCLA. Even though me and Brian tried to tell y'all yesterday. Like,
UCLA, we did. That was our upset pick.
Let me get to this phone line. Birdhead Ryan, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey guys, you know, I now kind of understand and know why I don't watch a lot of the women's games, because I get so I feel like I was more emotionally invested in the women's team this tournament than I've ever been in watch. It just, and by no means am I saying the referees cost us the game, because they didn't, but it's just so infuriating when you see one call slightly not go your way. I was Marcus, I did what you did. I was yelling at the TV, and my wife looked at me, and she's like, "Are you insane? Like, what is your problem?" And I was just like, it just drove me nuts. But, listen, I like that Walls kept their team out a little bit on the court after they lost to make them feel the sting.
Yep.
And I think this team's going to come back hungry. They're losing Dana Evans. They're losing one heck of a player. They got a great group of talent coming back, and they've got a bunch of talent coming in. And I hope that you see some off-season, hungry, driven women, and you see some of that workouts, and you see some of that social media that they are focused to go further, because I feel like they can. And then I'll say one thing about Gonzaga that you guys were talking about. I kind of feel like there will be in everybody's mind a little bit of an asterisk if they do finish this off. But you got to hand it to them. They played a heck of an early season schedule. It didn't seem like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they didn't back down from playing anybody. I mean, I started looking like they played Kansas, they played this team, they played that team. It's like they, other than maybe Kentucky, which they would have drummed by 50, it seems like if they could have played the game, they would. And guess what? If it ends up as Baylor and Gonzaga, and they were supposed to play earlier in the year, and they go out and win that game, then you can put the asterisk. But guess what? I feel like that they deserved it, man. Not only they didn't squeak by these games, they're drumming these teams, and it's kind of fun watching it. But anyways, I'll jump off, guys. Take care. Go Cards.
Appreciate the call.
Appreciate it. And to his, but here's the only thing I would say, and I think this is the problem. Do you know what Louisville's out of conference record was, Marcus, this year?
I do not.
It's rhetorical. I believe it was 8-1. Imagine Louisville went 8-1 with their conference schedule, and then went and played the WCC. Louisville would be a 2 seed. Well, I mean, you'd be like, well, Louisville's got like 2 losses.
Right.
So I think the only problem where people get aggravated, because he's right, and that's the thing. You have to credit him, because Gonzaga, openly is like, we'll play anybody and everybody.
Right.
We'll go to Carolina. We'll go. So I commend Gonzaga for being
they have the same problem like a lot of up and coming football schools. You're a little too good we won't get credit for beating you like we need to, but
they're kind of moving out of that. They
are
kind of moving out of that though now. I will say, where people are like, yeah, you can lose to Gonzaga and it's not a big deal. I mean, they just pulled a guy over Kentucky in recruiting. Well, actually, they did Suggs, and then they got Salas this year. So it's like, I think the thing is, though, is you have so many teams that are like, yeah, but y'all get to
get healthy,
beef up for 3 months.
Yes, y'all get to get healthy and nice and fat and strong.
Yeah, Illinois is like, yeah, for 3 months while we're beating the piss out of each other in the Big Ten, you're over there, doing jumping jacks through the tonight, I don't know if we want to bring it tonight, so, St. Mary's hangs a little bit. All right, let's beat them.
Look, and the coaches get to sub like that too. The coaches literally get to sub. Could you imagine WCC Carleek Jones? No, he doesn't have to play 40 minutes. He's WCC Carleek Jones is, hey, David,
up.
Every turnover you come out the game for at least a minute. Look, tonight that rule goes for everybody. You must sit on the bench for 1 minute. So think about how tight your game would be. Look, and to Timmy from us, make sure you throw that in there.
Yeah, I know. Look,
that's hater text. Don't worry about that. Let me get to this phone line real quick. Clayton, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
Yes, sir. First time caller. I wanted to bounce off of Burthead Ryan's comment about the women's team.
Right.
Mikasa Robinson. I think she's a very amazing person. I'm a season ticket holder, so I would always watch them. I'd always hear up and cheer them. I guess the TV angle, it was slightly different for me. She would come off a 5-6 minute run, be getting elbowed in the face, doing all kinds of stuff on the court. Would go straight to the bench, up, clapping, coaching players when they were inbounding the ball right in front of the bench. I really think if Louisville basketball could get a leader like that, someone who's just going to grind it out, I guess like a Dwayne Sutton type player, next year would be very, very positive outlook for him. But I just wanted to see what Charles' take was on Mikasa, because I think she's a very inspirational person, especially for a lot of young players around here. Thank you.
Listen, Clayton, I appreciate the call. I appreciate the fact that you kind of want to get the closing thoughts. You know what I'm saying? The season closing positive, compliments. Listen, I think she's awesome. And where's number 5? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, you automatically didn't know that she was going to be my favorite player just from day one. Like,
she's like a coach's dream because she's that hustler. She goes after every ball. She plays tenacious defense. She's not afraid of anybody who's taller than her. I mean, she was impressive.
I'm gonna listen, and I'm gonna tell her and Mikasa's parents, the angle, you got to get the bank shot. You got to get the bank shot from the angle. That has to be a part of your arsenal. The shot will go in. You won't have to worry about anxiety. Coach, the bank shot. Do not let them, no more this summer. Do not let them get away without using the glass on their post moves. Anybody who shoots and shoots it straight in the basket, you must give them the Jalen Withers treatment. This is from my coach, Mac, and this is from my coach, Walls. When you get nervous and when you get anxious and you get tired, the bank shot goes in. Remember that, please. Mikasa's awesome. And if she was taller, if she was a couple inches taller, we would have dominated Stanford. I don't know, but Stanford was good. Stanford was good. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, they were really good. They were really good.
Like, yeah. Tip your cap and say, hey, our team came to play.
That's we're up 14.
That's all you can. That's all. I mean, of course you want to close it out. Of course you want to. It's when you're dealing with 1 seeds, coach can have you ready to play and have a scout report.
Do you realize what Stanford was the equivalent to? I mean, Stanford was essentially the equivalent to a team. Imagine playing a men's team that had 3 7-footers that could just
feel like I've played that before, Steve.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying that we're like, and I'm not even talking like Malik and Steve. I'm talking like 3 7-footers.
No, I was talking about Marcus Lee coming off the bench when we got 2 other 7-footers in foul trouble.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I'm just saying, like, play a team with 3 7-footers that all 3 of them they're like 40% from 3.
And can handle the ball.
And can play at the same time. Like a men's team that could put 3 7-footers in, all 3 of them can shoot the 3, and they can all 3 play together. You'd be like David and Carleek and 3 7-footers that can shout the 3. You'd be like, what the crap is this?
Right.
I mean, that's essentially what Stanford was. And I mean, they were awesome. They impressed me. I'll be blown away if they don't win it.
We brought it. Coach, you had a game plan. You found a weakness in their free throws. We had to be physical. That led to they got some and ones. Like you can just foul all day. But I mean, listen, we brought it.
He does need to go get a big man though.
2.
Probably 2.
Steve, you're not allowed to say big man. Apparently, I'm gonna get beat up by Maria Taylor for saying that.
Oh, you want me to say a big woman?
Oh, that's more trouble, ain't it?
Okay. Point. So stick it. He needs to go get a big man. So he does need to go get a center, man. That's a good size.
I know. Yeah, a good fundamentally sound, good post work, good footwork center. I tell you what, we'll take out.
I felt like they had a couple inches at every position.
Oh yeah, no, they were huge. They were a huge team. Yeah.
Quick commercial.
I'm sorry. Yeah. How random was it to keep seeing Russell Wilson? I was like, what the?
I mean, his sister
was on the team.
So I know, but it was just like,
they had the Russell Sierra Cam.
Like that was the bigger story than the game.
Yeah, like, and don't give me that his sister was on the team. Like you knew going into that game that his sister played for Stanford.
They had an independent Russ Cam.
I know. Yeah. So I don't want to hear the Marcus like, well, his sister played. Duh. Like you didn't know that when you saw what the hell is Russell Wilson doing at the game?
I didn't know that, Steve, but your point is valid. Like it wasn't a big deal.
I was like, did they just say Russell Wilson and Sierra?
It wasn't a big enough deal for it to be a independent camera for them.
Yeah, it's like like he didn't sign with the Cowboys. Like, well, why do we who's this guy? All right, sorry, go to break.
Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maybin on 9 through 9 the Ville.
You've waited 2 years for it, but the wait is almost over. Genesis Diamond store-wide spring extravaganza is next weekend, April 9th through the 11th. This is the big one, a store-wide sale unlike any other. Extra savings up to 35% off their already guaranteed best prices on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, bracelets, pendants, colored gemstones, even GIA certified diamonds are on sale. Don't miss it. Best prices and special financing too. 3 days only, April 9th through 11th, only at Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza.
After 2 long years, Genesis Diamond's spectacular spring extravaganza is back. April 9th through 11th. 3 incredible days. Store-wide savings. Up to 35% off Genesis already guaranteed best price on engagement rings, earrings, bracelets, wedding bands, plus special financing. This is the big one. The one where they break all the rules. Even Genesis GIA certified diamonds are marked down. Plus top jewelry designers are flying in their entire collections. You've waited long enough. So don't miss this. April 9th through 11th at Genesis Diamond, Shelbyville Road Plaza. Unapproved credit.
Hey everybody, Steve Rummage here, and if you have listened to 93.9 The Ville over the last few months, you know I've reminded you of 3 simple words. Call Josh Jarbo. Josh is a licensed realtor and owner of RE/MAX Alliance, and with the spring market heating up, he wants to make your home buying or selling process as efficient as possible by offering a guaranteed sale program and instant offers on commercial listings. And if that wasn't enough, up to $5,000 seller credit by mentioning you heard it right here. So don't wait any longer and contact Josh Jarbo at 502-216-7590 or Josh Jarbo at remax.net.
Here's what you missed on the Diener Show.
So let's say I drink a cup of water, down it, all right?
Yeah.
And let's say I eat some coffee grounds, raw, which is disgusting. I've still had the water.
Still, I get that, but once water's diluted, it's no longer water anymore.
I don't buy any of that. Otherwise, I would die of dehydration. I mean, there were years where I didn't drink anything but Diet Coke.
Weekday morning, 7 to 10 on 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680 and 105.7.
We always have our focus around here at ESPN Louisville, not focused with an F, but with a PH.
Focus is sparkling water with caffeine, and it's putting sugary soda on notice with its newest flavor, Cola, which was just awarded Best New Product by BevNet Magazine.
Focus Cola has all the classic taste, but none of the harmful ingredients. No sugar, no sweeteners, no guilt. It's what's missing that matters.
Haven't had it before? Try Focus Cola for just $12 when you use code NEWCOLA at www.drinkfocus.com.
I'm Kim from Lovett Landscaping. As a new season approaches, James and I would like to thank all of our loyal customers in Louisville, from the Highlands to Germantown, Audubon Park, St. Matthews, and many more. We've had 32 successful years thanks to you all. Lovett specializes in all landscape designs and installations. Here at Lovett, we always say, we don't leave until you say you love it. Give us a call at 635-1685 or Google Lovett Landscaping. That's LUV-IT, Lovett Landscaping.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold craft, tap, can, or bottled beer, 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, you can save on the food you love. Just buy 10 or more participating items and save 50 cents each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Make your life better with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker and be part of an industry-leading organization that believes in promoting from within. Earn $14.50 per hour plus a $300 weekly bonus for some shifts. And you might even be eligible for a program that helps you graduate college debt-free. Enjoy an active job with big-time growth opportunities at UPS. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/Louisville. That's upsjobs.com/Louisville.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life. And if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial # law on your cell phone. That's #529. Offices Louisville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
We have a good chance with him, don't we?
It's Wednesday, ESPN Louisville. Thanks to Jason and his team for bringing by lunch to the ESPN Louisville studios. It's Which Wednesday, so be sure to get carry-out, curbside, or delivery from the Hurstbourne or Brownsboro Crossing location for lunch or dinner. Perfect for the games this week. Try the ESPN special. That's a large Which for just $6.80. That's only for call-in or walk-in orders. Which superior sandwiches.
Well, let me throw in a couple of other reasonable reads that were probably done without the voodoo doll choking. To address the competitive hiring market climate in the Louisville area, UPS will offer a retention and attendance bonus in 2021. Starting pay is $14.50 per hour. Employees on select shifts will also receive an additional $300 weekly bonus, attendance bonus. Learn how you can graduate debt-free. New UPS is now offering a $100 attendance Sunday bonus for all employees that have Sunday through Thursday work weeks. Now offering a $75 bonus for all night shifts, employees not including the $100 bonus. So if an employee works nights Sunday through Thursday, their weekly bonus is $175. Visit upsjobsky.com for more information. Also, since we're here, if you're not going to enjoy the Which, head to Kroger for prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh. You'll find more ways to save on fresh you love with personalized coupons, weekly sales, and rewards like fuel points, all for prices that are even lower than your everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Phil, touche, my friend.
Yeah, well played, Phil. Well
Touché.
played, Phil. You really screwed the show right there. Okay, there was a lot happening. I'm walking around. I've got my phone and my iRig and my microphone. I'm pacing in the house. Marcus is choking. I'm trying to find an email. It's just thanks.
Listen,
that was some real bull crap, Phil Baker.
Listen, and then I get right before that. It was either Phil or this guy who says it sounds like penis envy when you discredit them. Remember when people made fun of Louisville's football schedule? When, like, dude, no, penis envy is you writing into this show on the text line saying we have penis envy. You, sir, have penis envy. Sending that text, and you can't convince me. I dare you to send a picture of yourself through this text line.
Wait a minute.
And I can guarantee
of your body,
of your face. I can tell you have penis envy punchable face. Thank you very much.
Are we allowed to say can we say penis envy? If so, we're a little late. If not,
it's an anatomical identified structure on the body.
You can use the D word, but you can say penis.
Ah, yes. Okay. Fair enough.
I will not be canceled from using scientific anatomy, Steve.
Okay.
So
I was just making sure.
I got in trouble about 3 years ago for saying the D word. I called Barry Bonds one.
Well, yeah, Brian. I didn't.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the word that was in question. So, Steve, coming down the stretch, any Jared West conversation? He's supposed to be making his announcement within the next 30 minutes or so, I would say.
Yeah, supposed to be making an announcement. I mean, it sounds like it's us or Pitt. Pitt sounds confident. Louisville sounds confident. At the end of the day, man, I want him because I think he's a great defender. And I think is what it's going to come down to for him. Is he willing to come to Louisville and possibly come off the bench and be that defender guy, or go to Pitt and probably start
and get wasted?
But yeah, I mean, you're gonna have. I don't know how good Pitt's gonna be next year.
That's my point.
They lose everything, right, and it's like, and you're gonna have a lot more. I think he could get value from coming here and being a backup because, I mean,
or he can dominate and be so much better than we thought, and put somebody else on the bench.
Yeah, or two. I mean, there's always the. I mean, I don't believe that this will happen, but maybe Louisville whiffs on everybody. I don't, David Carleek leave. They don't get Rocket. I did see Louisville never really reached out to Christian Lander, so they weren't really. That was not a direction they were really wanting to go. They've talked with Noah Locke in the last day. They're supposedly talking with Rocket Watts in the next day or so.
Right.
So those are two guys that they're wanting. So that's why I said I guess you go ahead and take Lander off the list. With Louisville not even reaching out. So yeah, I mean, I think West you take. I mean, absolutely. I mean, if you can get him, again, he's the all-time still or what number 2 ever in Conference USA
and all-time at his school.
All time. That's right. All time at Marshall. I mean,
it means your on-ball defense and your help side defense is exactly where.
And again, unless you really swing and miss, you're going to bring in another guard. I mean, it's starting to sound.
So were you listening when I said I'm happy with my options? Like, just you can be when you're happy with who you're in the room with. When you're happy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I think we're narrowing it down pretty good now. I think if you get West today, I think you're looking at probably 2 of the 3 of Carleek come back, Rocket Watts, Noah Locke. And there's a lot of fire with the Noah Locke thing. And I really like him, man, from Florida, because he was essentially, I mean, Chris Mack did everything he could to recruit him out of high school.
And I know you have confidence in me, Coach Mack.
Yeah. And the way the roster's shaking out, I mean, there were rumors about Quinn out there. Those sound to be debunked. There was rumors about Sam out there. Those sound like they've been debunked. I mean, the only one I haven't heard pretty much directly refuted was Josh Nickelberry at this point. And I think Josh is probably just waiting to see who they get and
see what the room feels like.
But I mean, I think there is a shot that Carleek comes back. I think that. And then Locke and Watts. So yeah, if you can get West, I think that takes a lot of I mean, you still need to make some moves,
right?
But I mean, that does take some pressure off.
Again, move. That.
You can be very select. I'm sorry, I just totally walked on you there. You can be very selective between Locke and Watts if you get West.
I agree.
I mean, you can look at those two and say, hey, first come, first serve.
Look, what's the one where you said you throw a broomstick down and break it in half?
Yeah, the Joker from The Dark Knight. Yeah.